So UFC 323 Merab Dvalishvili versus Peter Yan 2 is taking place this weekend. But let me be honest, no one cares about that fight, man. No, we do not care. We do not care about Merab versus Yan 2. What we care about is Joshua Van versus Alexandre Pantoja. Look, Pantoja is on the verge of being one of the greatest flyweights of all time and one of the greatest fighters of all time if he can continue his win streak. So Tony has died. I'm going to be telling you how much more does Pantoja need to do to become the GOAT of this division. And along the way, we're going to count down the top 10 flyweights of all time. So we're going to do the flyweight GOAT list, and then we're going to talk about what more Pantoja needs to do to become the GOAT of flyweight. So let's get straight into this, all right? Number 10 on the GOAT list, we got John Dodson. John Dodson, he looks kind of like a milk dud low-key, all right? John Dodson, he was a pretty decent MMA fighter. He had a very bad fall-off towards the end of his career, but he's got 10 UFC wins. Of his 10 UFC wins, he's got a lot of good wins, like one over TJ Dillashaw. That is very impressive. One over Tim Elliott. Say what you will about fucking Tim Elliott. Dude's still fighting to this day. He's got one over Formiga, who is going to be on this list later. He's got one over John Moronga. He's got a couple of decent wins. He lost to Demetrius Johnson twice. And, he fought for, he earned the title shot twice. So, goes on a 4-fight win streak, gets the title shot against DJ and loses. Goes on a 3-fight win streak, gets the title shot against DJ and loses. And then he has a very bad fall off. He moves up a weight class. He loses to Jan, Merab, Peter, Jimmy Rivera. But they don't count. Those are a fucking bantamweight, okay? We're talking about flyweight only. So when we talk about his flyweight record and resume, he's got the wins over, Formiga. He's got the wins over Tim Elliott. He's got the win over Dillashaw. I think that gives you enough, kind of stock to get into this kind of list. I don't know. Maybe I could have put Brandon Royval at the number 10 because he's got the win over Moreno and Tyra. Maybe any other close fight with Van as well. So maybe I could have thrown Royval in there. If Joshua Van wins this weekend, he'll definitely get added into this list just immediately. Like the win over Pantoja and Royval would put him immediately into this conversation to be had. And so, yeah, man, I got to have John Dodson at number 10. He's not super, that's the thing about flyweight, bro. It's like the bottom 3 people of flyweight, you're really kind of reaching to get him into the top 10. It's like I was debating not even doing a top 10 just because, what's the point of even including John Dodson in this fucking list? But, when you compare some of Demetrius Johnson's wins later on to some of Pantoja's wins, it's important to have John Dodson there. So, yeah. Let's talk about the next guy on this list. I got Formiga. I think Formiga is underrated, bro. This guy is low-key like the Michael Johnson of fucking flyweight, bro. Because this guy, he has a win over Pantoja, and then he gets knocked out by John Dodson. He has a close fight with Cejudo that could have gone either way, and then he loses to fucking Ray Borg. This dude has a win, over Figueiredo, for God's sake. This dude beat Davison Figueiredo, and he beat Sergio Pettis. And I wasn't even going to include him on the list at first, but I was doing the research for this video, and I was looking at all the other people on this fucking list, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to have Sergio Pettis on here. I'm going to have Davison Figueiredo on here. I'm going to have Cejudo on here. Okay, this guy's he's beat all of these. He beat Pantoja. So yeah, man, Formiga, he's got he's got a 9-7 UFC record, bro. But the people he lost to, it's like Moreno, it's Benavidez, it's Ray Borg, it's Cejudo, it's Dots. He's losing to the best people, and he's got some sneakily good wins as well. So shout out Formiga. He definitely deserves to be mentioned on this list. But yeah, let's move on to the next person because these aren't really we don't really. Nobody's talking about fucking Jussier Formiga and the GOAT list, bro. Let's just move on to the next person. We got Anthony Pettis' brother, Sergio Pettis, who I want to see come to the UFC, man. He's only 32 years old. He's fighting outside the fucking, he was already in the UFC before and had a 9-5 record. And when he was in the UFC, He had the win over John Moroga. He's got the win over Brandon Moreno, which is impressive. And he has a win over Benavidez. So he beat Moreno and he beat Benavidez. That's very impressive. And he also has a win over Kyoji Horiguchi. Now, it was at 135, so it doesn't really count. But Horiguchi is a good fighter, so that goes on to his thing. He has a win over Rafael Stotts. I know that was at 135 as well. So we shouldn't really be talking about his 135 exploits. We just got to talk about what he's done at 125. The Moreno win and the Benavidez win, he had a close fight with Cejudo, and he had a close fight with Formiga as well. I think that's enough to get Sergio Pettis on this as well. I just want to see him come back to the UFC, man, because he's so young. He's gone on to be the Bellator champion, I'm pretty sure. He ended up losing to Horiguchi later back at 125. So he has some losses at 125 as well, but yeah, man, I think I just need to see. I want to see him come back to the UFC. So yeah, let's put Sergio Pettis at number 8 on this list. At number 7 on the list, man, I got one of the best fighters to never hold the belt. I got Joseph Benavidez, man. Joseph Benavidez, dude. This guy just got so unlucky because, dude, this guy, he has like in his early in his UFC career, he's 15-6, so he has 15 wins, 6 losses. 2 of his losses are to Dominic Cruz. 2 of his losses are to Demetrius Johnson. And then 2 of his losses are to Davison Figueiredo. And then his other losses are a close fight to Askar Askarov, which could have gone either way, and a fucking split decision to Sergio Pettis. And so when we look at him, he's beat, he doesn't really beat anyone insane, bro. he doesn't have a crazy marquee win except maybe Miguel Torres, but that was a fucking bantamweight. He doesn't really have a win that makes you go oh shit, dude. But he cleared out the fucking division. Beat Ian McCall, beat Formiga, beat Tim Elliott, beat Dustin Ortiz, beat Moraga, beat Cejudo. This guy beat Henry Cejudo. And yeah, he beat Alex Perez. He beat everybody in the division except for the fucking champions, bro. Dude, the way he got slimed out by Figueiredo kind of gives me shit. The way he got slimed out by Figueiredo was fucking nasty. He should have just hung it up after the first time he got slimed out. But then he got slimed out the second time, and then he really should have hung it up, bro. But yeah, bro. This guy, he's piping fucking Megan Levy, so he's got to be doing something right, man. But yeah, he just got super, this is something that I don't like when people criticize Demetrius Johnson's record, because they're like, bro, he barely beat anybody. Joseph Benavidez literally cleared out fucking flyweight apart from Demetrius Johnson and apart from fucking Davison Figueiredo. He literally cleared out the fucking division. What more does he need to do, bro? What more? So he doesn't really have a super impressive win, but he cleared out the fucking division apart from DJ. So yeah, I gotta have him at number 7 on the list. Hot take, bro. Hot take, bro. This is gonna be the hot take, bro. I don't think Henry Cejudo is that good, bro. I'm just going to fucking straight up say it. I think Henry Cejudo is the most overrated UFC fighter of all time. I see people putting Henry Cejudo in their top 20s. I see people putting Henry Cejudo in their top 10s. That's fucking smoking crack if you're putting Cejudo in the top 10, bro. I see people putting Cejudo. Cejudo should be top 30. Cejudo is top 40, bro. Dustin Poirier has a better fucking resume than Cejudo, bro. Because let me break it down for you, bro. The Cejudo title run. First of all, he got knocked out by Demetrius Johnson. He lost to Benavidez. Okay, so that's first of all, lost to DJ, lost to Benavidez. Then beat Sergio Pettis and gets the title shot against DJ. So he goes on, he's on a 2-fight win streak and then he gets the title shot. Okay, 2-fight win streak, beat Wilson Reyes and beat fucking Sergio Pettis. Okay, so Sergio Pettis, that's a good win. Don't get me wrong, that's a good win. Then the fight against Demetrius Johnson, robbery. Straight up, I don't care. Demetrius Johnson won that fight. Demetrius Johnson beat Henry Cejudo. And so, boom, robbery. There you go. Then, the TJ Dillashaw fight. Okay, he won in the first 30 seconds. Dillashaw had no business. You literally get the fucking weight cut at it. The TikTok fans glazed Dillashaw. Because he literally looked like a fucking Minecraft skeleton. This dude looked like he was the fucking hollowed in fucking Dark Souls 3, cutting down to fucking 125 pounds to fight Henry Cejudo. And Cejudo knocked him out in fucking 30 seconds. Because guess what? You're not supposed to like. So Dillashaw could low-key fight at 145. You see him now. He's on fucking sauce. So he robbed Demetrius Johnson, and then he beats weight drain Dillashaw. So then he, for some reason, just randomly gets to move up a weight class. Then he beats Marlon Moraes. Okay, congrats, you beat Marlon Moraes. That's a good win, I guess. But Marlon Moraes, after Marlon Moraes loses to fucking Cejudo, he does not win another fight. He literally does not win a single fight after he loses to Cejudo. The Jose Aldo robbery, you're about to say, bro, he beat Jose Aldo after he lost to Cejudo. He didn't. They literally gave Jose Aldo a title shot off of the fucking robbery because that's how bad of a robbery it was. Okay? It's literally classic Jose Aldo robbery, like Baldo Aldo robberies happen all the fucking time, bro. And so he moves up and fights Marlon Moraes. That's a robbery. And then the fight against Cruz is there's 2 seconds left in the fucking round, and the ref steps in and stops the fight. So his 4 best people are like, bro, he beat DJ, he beat Dillashaw, he beat Cruz. No, like he didn't beat DJ. He didn't beat a good version of Dillashaw. He beat fucking weight drain Dillashaw. And then the Cruz stoppage was weak as fuck. It was a very competitive fight. And it was Cruz coming back after 4 years. And so I think that Henry Cejudo is the most overrated UFC fighter of all time, bro. I really do. But let's give him some glaze, bro. Like the fight with DJ was very close. He does have the win over Sergio Pettis. The Benavidez fight could have gone either way. The Formiga fight, he beats Formiga, bro. And he's a fucking Olympic champion. We'll give him a fucking pat on the back. But then let me do some more Cejudo hatred real quick. Then he comes back to the he retires because he thinks he's Conor McGregor and he thinks the UFC needs to pay him $30 million fucking dollars. He retires and then he comes back and he loses to Aljo, loses to Merab, loses to Song Yadong. Just hang it up, bro. Now he's fighting fucking Peyton Talbot. He's gonna get slimed out by fucking Frank Ocean's boyfriend, bro. Fuck Cejudo, bro. So I got him at number 6 on the list. At number 5 on the list, I got Kyoji Horiguchi, bro. And this is going to sound like I'm being like a fake hardcore putting Kyoji Horiguchi over fucking Cejudo. But dude, I swear on my fucking life, man. On days, bro. This guy is goated. Kyoji Horiguchi. His record is 35-5, right? He only has 1 loss at 125 pounds. Is to Demetrius Johnson. His other 3 losses, he has a loss to Asakura, which he fought Asakura at 125, and guess what? He beat him by knockout when they rematched. So he got the smoke back with Asakura at 125 and beat him. So he has the winner for Asakura. Then he loses to Sergio Pettis at 135. He rematches Sergio Pettis at 125, beats him. And then he obviously has the loss to Patchy Mix, but that's just because Patchy Mix was fucking huge, okay? Besides that, this dude is goated, bro. So he has the Sergio Pettis win. He has the Asakura win. He has a win over Tagir Olimbekov. He has a win over Manel Kape. That's better than Cejudo. He has a fucking 14-1 record in Ryzen. He has an 8-1 record in UFC. He's a Bellator champion and he's a Ryzen champion. The only thing he hasn't been is a UFC champion. I swear to God, bro. Kyoji Horiguchi is the fucking most underrated UFC fighter of all time. This dude's record is insane. His resume is insane. Dude, like, he has wins over, like, I'm going to read off some of these people that he beat. Manel Kape was 11-1 when he beat him. Gabriel Oliveira. No idea who that is, but he was undefeated when he beat him. You know? Like, his UFC run, he beat, like, some fucking no-names, bro, but they were still, like, good flyweights, I guess. Like, you know, whatever. There's not much going on at flyweight. Give fucking Horiguchi the title shot or whatever. But it's still fucking prime Demetrius Johnson, bro. Like, he beat a lot of really good people in his fucking career. His only loss at 125 is to DJ. And so I think that's a very good win for Demetrius Johnson. And I honestly think that he has a better record than Cejudo. I'm just going to straight up say it, bro. You can say, bro, he beat Cruz. No, he didn't. That was a 135 as well. Bro, he beat... So his 2 wins... So he lost to Benavidez. He lost to Demetrius Johnson twice. One was a robbery. One was by brutal knockout. And he beat Dillashaw after the UFC literally handpicked, gave fucking Cejudo the win because he was at 125. So the three highest level people he fought, Benavidez, Demetrius Johnson, and Demetrius Johnson again, he lost. So why would I put him against fucking Kyoji Horiguchi? He only has one loss in all of flyweight. This dude has like a 29-1 record at flyweight. Like, why would I put Henry Cejudo, who has like a 12-1 like record, should be like 12-3 record? Like, tell me how it doesn't make sense to put Kyoji Horiguchi above Cejudo. That's all I'm gonna say, bro. That's all I'm gonna say. All right. Let's move on to the next one. Number 4 on the list, I got Brandon Moreno. Surprise to nobody. Brandon Moreno, he's been around the UFC for quite some time. Now, he is a big proprietor of Dana White privilege, all right? Let's be honest. Brandon Moreno would not be where he is today if it wasn't for a little bit of Dana White privilege, because the first fight with Deiveson Figueiredo, right? They fight for the vacant belt. And for some reason, they give the fight a draw, even though Figueiredo could have won off of points if he didn't get the point taken, right? All right. But they give Moreno an automatic rematch in which he wins the fight. So he gets an automatic rematch. So he beat Figueiredo. So I really count them as 2-2 because I do think that Figueiredo won the first fight. Even if you take away the point, there's still an argument to give Figueiredo the fight because it was a majority decision. I'm pretty sure 2 of them scored it a draw and 1 of them scored it for Figueiredo. So I do think that there is an argument that Figueiredo should have just straight up won even with the point deducted, but they give Moreno the automatic rematch for some reason. But you look at who he's beaten. Kai Kara France beat him twice, beat Brandon Royval, beat Figueiredo twice, because he, the second fight with Figueiredo, and that's the 4th fight with Figueiredo in the second fight. But he lost to Figueiredo the 3rd fight. I think he should have lost the first fight. He beat Kai Kara France, but then he loses to Pantoja. He loses to Brandon Royval, but then he beats Amir Albazi and he beats Steve Erceg. So his wins are Steve Erceg, Amir Albazi, Figueiredo twice, and Royval, and Kai Kara France twice. So that's pretty good, bro. But then you look a little deeper, bro. Lost to Pantoja 3 times and lost to Figueiredo twice, in my opinion. And he lost to Royval. And so, these are all people that are in the, top 10 of flyweight. So there's no shame in losing to them. But I do think that does mean you need to be dropped a little bit lower on the list. But he is Brandon Moreno. He's really good at wrestling and he's really good at striking. He's super well-rounded. But yeah, that's my opinion on Brandon Moreno. I do think he benefits from Dana White privilege a little bit too much just because they want that Mexican fan base so badly. I mean, you're going to make money. It's a fucking business. Fuck it. But, yeah, that's my opinion on Brandon Moreno. He's number 4, man. I don't think that's that crazy of a take. And at number 3, we got Deiveson Figueiredo. Deiveson Figueiredo, man. All right. Deiveson Figueiredo is severely underrated. He has the win over Pantoja, which is aging beautifully. He's the only person to ever drop Pantoja. He has 2 wins over Benavidez. He has 2 wins over Moreno. And he has the wins over Joseph Morales. And that's actually going to age pretty well because Morales is now back in the UFC. And he has the win over John Moraga. Everyone knows John Moraga, bro. Beat Tim Elliott. So he has and Perez. He beat Alex Perez as well. So 2 wins over Moreno, 1 win over Pantoja, 2 wins over Benavidez, and then a couple of decent little wins. I think the win over Pantoja, it's probably going to be one of the best aging wins of all time. I mean, we're about to talk about Pantoja. Maybe next, maybe not. We're going to have to stick around and find out if I got him at number 2 or number 1. But Figueiredo is undoubtedly probably the most dangerous something about the flyweights, bro, that people don't like is you don't ever see knockouts. You never see finishes. Well, not with Deiveson Figueiredo. He's by far the most powerful and exciting flyweight that we've ever seen. Brutal knockouts and submissions, man. So, Deiveson Figueiredo, you got my respect. He's number 3 on my GOAT list for flyweight. And let's see who number 2 is, man. I got Pantoja at number 2. I don't think that Pantoja has done enough to surpass Demetrius Johnson yet, all right? And we're about to get into a whole conversation about why I got DJ at 1 and why I got Pantoja at 2, all right? So let's just start with Pantoja's resume. He beat Kai Kara France. He beat Kai Asakura. He beat Steve Erceg. He beat Brandon Royval. He beat Brandon Moreno. He beat Brandon Royval again. He beat Manel Kopp. And he's got 3 wins over Moreno, 2 wins over Kai Kara, 1 win over Kopp, and then, cleared out the fucking division. He's lapping the division again. Definitely needs to be, like, worthy. Like, he is in the discussion for sure. But look, one thing that people talk about when you talk about the resume of Demetrius Johnson is people like to say that he fought fucking nobodies. He fought trash cans. Oh, he's fighting Ali Bagutayev in his fucking debut, bro. Oh, he's fighting, fighting fucking Chris Carrizo as a fucking title defense. Like, that's what people say about Demetrius Johnson when they talk about, his record was padded. That's what they say. Pantoja's fucking record is padded too, bro. Steve Erceg is almost got a negative UFC record, bro. Steve Erceg, his record in the UFC right now is fucking 4-3. Okay? And he arguably beat Pantoja. I think Pantoja beat Erceg upon rewatch. But when the fight first happened, I was screaming robbery because I thought Erceg low-key could have won. But I rewatched it, I think Pantoja won. But I'm saying, when you bring up these Demetrius Johnson fucking... Oh, bro, Demetrius Johnson. This dude fought fucking Tim Elliott as a title defense. First of all, I said this already. Tim Elliott's still doing it, bro. He just beat fucking the Tagir Olimbekov. So, and he beat Kai Asakura as well. So Tim Elliott is a crafty fucking vet, man. He's got the awkward style. Don't hate on Tim Elliott. But Pantoja is defending against Kai Asakura. You can't say Kai Asakura is a better you're like, oh, bro, Kai Asakura. He's actually better than Tim Elliott. Tim Elliott beat him, bro. Tim Elliott beat him when he was Unk. Tim Elliott beat Asakura Unk, and Demetrius Johnson has that on his resume. Kai Kara-France. Okay, you beat Kai Kara-France twice. You want a fucking cookie, bro? Kai Kara-France has a fucking professional record of 25-11. Kai Kara-France is more ran through than fucking Lane Kiffin, bro. Kai Kara-France has been beaten by fucking everybody. So it's not like his last 3 title defenses are Kai Kara-France, Kai Asakura, and Steve Erceg. Those are DEI fucking title defenses, bro. Nobody knows who any of these people are. And he's just like suffering from his own success, bro, because he beat Brandon Moreno 3 times. What else are you supposed to do? Run Brandon Moreno Pantoja 4? Like, nobody's trying to see that. Brandon Royval versus Pantoja 3? Like, nobody's trying to fucking see that. But we are trying to see these new fucking contenders like Josh Van, Tatsuro Taira. Maybe we get a little Kyoji Horiguchi action in there. I think that if Pantoja can beat Van, and I think that if he can beat one more person, I think that you can say that he's the flyweight GOAT. But as of right now, 3 wins over Moreno is very impressive. So, yeah, he has 3 wins over Moreno. But I think Demetrius Johnson has the 2 wins over Cejudo and the win over Horiguchi, and he has the wins over Benavidez, and he has the wins over John Dodson. And, yeah, I just think that that's better than what Pantoja's done. Where, Royval is good, don't get me wrong. He just had a close fight with Van himself. But, is that, are we really going to say that Royval is a better win than Joseph Benavidez? I don't think so, bro. Royval has not cleared out a fucking division like Benavidez has. I like Lucas Tracy, bro. But he does this thing where it's these fucking fighters from the old age, there's no way they could possibly compete. Well, maybe in the heavier weight classes, yeah, that's true, bro. But in the lighter weight classes, these people still, Demetrius, let's just talk about Demetrius Johnson now, who I have at number 1 on this list. Let me actually expand this real quick so I can see his record better. Dude, Demetrius fucking Johnson is the GOAT, bro. I don't care. Not the GOAT of all time, but he's top 5 for me all time, all right? I think I'm not going to say my GOAT list now because we're going to try to hit 20K and do the GOAT list, right? But Demetrius Johnson, dude, 2 wins over Cejudo, knocks out Cejudo. So he has the 2 win over Cejudo twice, 2 wins over Cejudo, 2 wins over Benavidez, the win over Horiguchi. That's 5 elite wins already. So that's 5 wins that are fucking elite. All right? We're talking about Khabib being in the top 15. All you really need to do is have 3 great wins and you're considered into the fucking GOAT conversation. Because this is MMA. MMA is such a young virgin sport. You know what I mean? The sport's only been around for 30 years, but people you don't have time. You have to be a great fighter to be. You don't have to be insane, bro. That's why people's GOAT lists change so often. is what I'm trying to say. I'm kind of like going on a schizophrenic rant about this, bro. But John Dodson, okay, Benavidez twice, okay, and dude, honestly, the Benavidez fight, Benavidez is fucking good, bro. Benavidez arguably could have won the first fight, bro. If you ever watched that fight, Ian McCall, Kyoji Horiguchi, John Dodson, Henry Cejudo, Tim Elliott, Ray Borg, and then they acted like he was just fucking washed. He goes to one champion. Like, Cejudo is still, like, okay, you say Cejudo is trash, bro. Cejudo arguably could have beat Aljamain Sterling. He arguably could have beat, he had a close fight with Merab. The Song Yadong fight was unfortunate. So you can't say that Cejudo, like, I don't say he's completely trash. Obviously, I still have him in the fucking top 10 of my GOAT list. I'm not saying Cejudo is just like a bum. I just think he's a little bit overrated. Maybe my rant was a little too harsh on him later. But Cejudo is still competing with these people in 2025, 2026. You know? Why is that, like, Demetrius Johnson couldn't compete if he didn't get fucking booted from the UFC? And he beat Rodtang. We'll just throw that in there for fun. He beat Rodtang. He submitted Rodtang in a custom rules fight, which is kind of a nice little fucking cherry to throw on top of it. Rodtang is the greatest Muay Thai fighter of all time. And he's choked him out or whatever. But look, Adriano Moraes, bro. That dude could have been a 145er, bro. Like, he was fucking enormous, for so much bigger than Demetrius Johnson. And Demetrius Johnson knocked him out in the fucking second fight, and then he masterclassed him in the third fight. And that's a good win, bro. That's a good win. I don't think that's like a crazy thing to say, that there are people outside the UFC that are good wins, you know? And like Kyoji Horiguchi, yeah. You beat him in the UFC. He goes on to do great things outside the UFC and picks up wins that will be in the UFC later. And then he comes back to the UFC this year and collects another dub over Tagir Ulanbekov. And I guess you maybe I'm just got some recency bias for Kyoji Horiguchi, bro. But like, let's be for real, bro. It's fucking crazy out here, man. It's crazy. Like, Demetrius Johnson, people need to stop hating on this dude's fucking legacy, because he cleared out his division twice. Literally lapped the division twice. He beat so many people that they were literally feeding him fucking random people from Tough, bro. And Ray Borg is decent as well. I didn't even talk about the fucking... He wasn't just beating these people. Like, Pantoja is going to a split decision with Moreno. Pantoja is going to a close fight with fucking Steve Erceg. Mighty Mouse is fucking destroying all these... Like, in his prime, is destroying all of these fucking people, bro. Like, making it look fucking easy as well. So, I still think that Mighty Mouse is better than Pantoja. I think that Pantoja needs, like, 2 more wins. If he beats Van, and then he beats, like, Tyra, or if he beats, like, Cop again, or, you know, whoever. I think that Pantoja is just on the verge of surpassing Demetrius Johnson's legacy, bro. But 11, like, the record for title defenses, honestly, like, his only loss in the UFC is to Dominic Cruz, and it was up at 135 pounds. In the UFC, he only has 1 loss, and it's to Cruz. And if you count the Cejudo fight being a robbery, then he only has 1 loss. So he's 15-1 at flyweight, bro. What more? Like, what the fuck? Like, Pantoja, yeah. Pantoja has a very good legacy, bro. Pantoja's got 14 wins, 3 losses, whatever. It's very good, bro. But he's lost more times, and Mighty Mouse has more wins. I don't think it's that crazy to say Mighty Mouse is still better than Pantoja, man. Like, I don't understand. I mean, I get it, bro. Like, we want to be cheering for the new guy. There's an argument, like, the old guy, out with the old, in with the new. I don't think we should just be throwing away DJ like this, because it's like people like try to shit on DJ's record and be like, DJ beat fucking Yuya Watsuki and he beat Willis and Ray. Nobody's gonna know who fucking Steve Erceg could have lost to fucking Ode Osborne, bro. And he arguably beat Pantoja. We were 1 judge scorecard away from Steve Erceg beating fucking Pantoja, bro. Holy shit, like, what the fuck? Steve Erceg was this close to beating Pantoja. And I think Joshua Van will beat Pantoja. Let me say this first. I'm not a Pantoja hater as well. It might come off as me being a Pantoja hater. I have picked Pantoja in every single fight that I've watched of Pantoja. I picked him against Moreno. I picked him against Perez. I picked him against Royval. I picked him against Usyk. I picked him against Asakura. I picked him against Kai Kara-France. I have picked Pantoja in every single fight. I am not a fucking hater of Pantoja. I just think that people like to shit on fucking Demetrius Johnson's resume being completely they're like, oh yeah, man, he beat all these fucking bumps. Who, like, is Alex Perez? Are we really going to be like, oh yeah, Alex Perez, that's an elite win. That is an elite win, man. Alex Perez, that is an elite win. Like, no. That's not that, like, Tim Elliott is a better win than fucking Alex Perez, bro. Okay? That's what I'll say, bro. I just think that the Pantoja, I like Pantoja, but this just, I feel like there's this mentality that people have. They just want to, they see something new and they want to, like, get behind it, and that's all cool and stuff. But this guy, he's got the record for the most title defenses. He's got the most fucking subs in flyweight. I mean, Demetrius Johnson is the most technical fighter we've ever seen. And he was doing it all. Let me say this too. Pantoja's a weight bully. Demetrius Johnson did this all while he was 5'1". So you could not even, like, even if you want to argue maybe Pantoja will have a better resume, you can never argue that he's more skilled than Demetrius Johnson, bro. I'm sorry. You just cannot, bro. And that's all I'm going to say, bro. Demetrius Johnson, I still think he's the greatest flyweight of all time. But yeah, if you like the video, like, subscribe, comment, do all that YouTube shit. Follow me on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter at TonyHasDied. Check out my Buy Me a Coffee if you want to help support the page monetarily. But I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.